Welcome everyone, I'm Adam. In this problem, we're going to be finding the standard form of the equation of an ellipse with the given characteristics. We're told we have vertices at points positive 7, 0 and negative 7, 0, and then foci at points positive 2, 0 and negative 2, 0, where also the center is at our origin, or point 0, 0. So looking at what we have our two vertices at positive and negative 7, 0, our two foci at positive and negative 2, 0, and our center at the origin. So visually what we see is that our major axis is going horizontally. So that at least tells us what the form of our standard form of our equation is going to look like. So center at 0, 0, or the origin, we're going to have x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared, and that's equal to 1. So to finish this up, what we need to find is our a and our b. To plug those in, then we have the standard form. So how are we going to get that? Well, again, since we have this stuff graphed over here, we know that the distance from the center to the vertices along the major axis is this number a. So a is the distance from our center out to our vertices, or namely the distance there, a is 7, and of course it's the same distance over here. All right, so we have that. So at least we have a. Now we don't know what b is yet, but while we're here, we do know one other number. We know the value of c, where c is the distance from the center out to the foci. So the distance from our center to our foci, right, c is equal to 2. Now how can that help us? Well, we know there's this relationship between c, b, and a, which is given by this. Namely that c squared is equal to, say, a squared minus b squared. So as we just saw, we know what a is, we know what c is, we can plug them in and use that to solve for b. So let's go ahead and do that. So in for c, we have 2 squared equals to a squared, which is 7 squared, and then minus b squared. So we want to solve for b, we'll get that by itself, or at least the b squared term. So we're going to subtract 7 squared, so we have 4 minus 49, or minus, say, 45 is equal to negative b squared. And of course, divide through with a negative, we have then what? B squared is equal to 45, which could be sufficient because we just have the b squared term, but we'll go ahead and find out what b is. So taking the square root of both sides, b is equal to the positive square root of 45. Okay, so we have our a and our b, like we said. Go ahead and plug that into our standard form. So our equation is going to look like, say, x squared over a squared, or 7 squared, plus y squared over b squared, over the square root of 45 squared, and that's equal to 1. So we could write it like this as the a squared and the b squared, or you can just multiply or simplify the bottoms if we want. Both are acceptable. So we'll put it in both forms. So we have this form, or we'll write it as x squared over 7 squared, which is 49, and plus y squared over the square root of 45 squared, which is 45, and that's equal to 1. So there we have the standard form of the equation of our ellipse with our given characteristics. Thank you very much.